Did you know that only a small percentage of us as sales agents, make a follow-up call? Like we don't even do a second or third call. Did you know that majority of sales actually happen on the 4th, 5th, or 6th contact? Like, in other words, the consumers or the prospects or the leads that we talk to on average do not say yes within the first 3 contacts. Wow, right? And so my question to you is, why do a small percentage of us even attempt to do a follow-up call if the money is in the follow-up call? Like, it's baffling, right? And so I found out the answer. If you want to know the answer, I'm going to share it with you in this video. First off, my name is Daniel. I am the host of this show. This show is called Sales Remastered. It's a channel that's not only on YouTube, but also on Facebook. You'll catch me on LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter, just to name other few. But where most go for a solid free sales script is salesremaster.com. Only go there and only download the sales script if you would like to take control of the conversation and ensure that you are left with enough leverage to increase your chances of closing that sale on the second contact. That's right. So I'm going to show you how to not only lessen the amount of contacts, but I'm going to help you with the proper scripting on how to do an effective follow-up call, a follow-up campaign. And so if we took the statistic, right, the statistic is that most sales happen between the 4th to the 6th follow-up call. All right, I think it's actually 7. And so now the question is, how do we increase the odds of us closing it sooner? And I'm going to share with you the answer in this video. And what I want to do is I want to share with you why I used to avoid doing a follow-up call. And so the reason why I personally did not like doing follow-up calls is because I never heard back from them. So I thought it was like a waste of time. More importantly, I didn't want to get rejected again. Like, I didn't want to hear it again. Like, there were just some prospects where I just didn't want to hear them give me rejection again. And I needed to in essence avoid resistance. I needed to avoid the drama in order to keep my positivity, to keep my momentum, or so I thought. And so the reason why I didn't do a follow-up call is because I was scared. I was scared of the rejection again, and I needed, or at least I felt that I needed that momentum to continue moving forward. More importantly, when I would do a follow-up call and they would answer, because most of the time I would get screened, right? But when I would do a follow-up call and they'd answer, here's my response. My response was, hey, this is Daniel. If you remember, I talked to you the other day. We went over a few different options, and I just wanted to see if you had any questions. I wanted to see if you had any questions about the numbers that we talked about. And do you know what their answers always were? Their answers were always along the lines of, yeah, we're not going to go ahead and move forward. We're just going to go ahead and not do the process anymore. Or, yeah, we're going to go ahead and use our tax refund to pay off all of our debt. Or, yeah, we're not going to refinance anymore. I have enough cash to pay the mortgage off by tomorrow. And so all these fucking fairy tale stories. And again, it was resistance. It was damn, it's good. It's like getting shot down, right? It's like being told Santa Claus don't exist. And so, of course that was defeating, and then it would mess up the momentum of the day. And that's something that I would really want to avoid. And so after so many times of just hearing the same old story, I gotta be honest, I just gave up. I didn't even want to do follow-up calls. Now here's the irony, is that I knew I had to increase my chances of making a sale within the first 2 calls, right? If anything, it's going to be on the third, no matter what. And it's because I wanted to avoid doing the extra. And so years went into refining this follow-up strategy. Years went into understanding from losses, understanding from misses at bat, right? Understanding the response if I left the message this way versus that way. If I worded it this way versus worded it that way. And so a lot of trial and error, a lot of split testing per se. And so what I had found was that, as technology improved and I adapted to the technology, I found it easier because now we're given 3 opportunities to try and make connection with our prospects for a second, third, fourth, or 5th time. Now, before I dive into the scripting, let me dive a little bit more into why it's so ironic. is because it's ironic, because my whole goal in actually creating this campaign or this scripting for the follow-up was to ensure that I got a connection back, was to ensure that I was able to draw a line in the sand with that lead. Now let me explain. That line in the sand meaning, hey, either I have a chance with you or I don't. Either I'm gonna continue stalking you or I won't, right? And it came from a place of laziness. It really did. I just wanted to know if I should even have this person in my queue, because I didn't want another red in my queue, So I was like, all right, well, look, you're gonna dodge me. At least be man enough to tell me you don't want me calling you anymore, and then that would actually eat at me. And I found that whenever I would create these illusions, I had so much weight on my shoulders, because I felt like I was speaking for them. For them meaning the prospect. So the prospect was dodging my call, or they wouldn't give me a call back, or they gave me a piss poor excuse. I took that as a challenge. I took that as if they were not liking me as a personal individual, right? Like I took it personally. And what I found from doing that was that it put me in a state where I believed I was doing something wrong. Like it was all because of me. And if you're feeling that way, I need you to understand it's not all because of you. It's just the way that society is wired. And if you understand, if you could show empathy, meaning that you're looking at it from their point of view, you're experiencing it through the emotional state that they are in. And when we show just a dose of empathy, you're going to be able to find freedom from the shackles that you hold on yourself to keep you back. And so let me explain. So why I was trying to make a more enticing message, like a scripting so powerful that I'm going to get a response back. Whether I like the response or not, I'm going to get them to call me back. And of course, I went through years of refining that, and then I finally found a script, and I'm gonna share it with you. Finally found a script, and so then I was getting contacts back, right? And so now I was like, oh shit, oh fuck. Now they're answering the phone, and now I just felt like I'm getting more denials. Like every single one, of course, had the same response. Oh yeah, Daniel, you know what? Just please stop calling me. We're not gonna go with your company. We went with our own company, or we went with another company. And so it's like more and more rejection. And so I was getting the call backs. I finally found out, how to answer one of the objectives, which is to get a contact back. Now the second objective was to flip that call back into a sale. And so what I learned from getting all these callbacks is that the objections or the excuses were typically all the same. And it was that, oh, I'm not in the market anymore, or, oh, I went with another company, or, oh, we decided not to go your route. You did great, but we decided to go stick with this other company. And so, after digging a little bit deeper and finding out why they went with the other company as opposed to mine, I found out that it typically had to do with just a few of the reasons, basically along the lines, of course, of price and rate. And so that led me to improve my delivery, right? And so you have a sync process, and within this process has certain phases. And when you figure out where in the process there's a leak or there needs to be a repair, then you have a glimpse of just what area needs focus on. And you're going to learn a lot about your process through the follow-ups. That's why they say money's in the follow-up, is because in the follow-up call, they're going to tell you where you lost them. Number one is they wouldn't be a follow-up call if they didn't make it to the pitch table. Number two is they wouldn't have made it to the pitch table if they didn't complete an application. Number three, they wouldn't have completed an application unless you won the interest. So if you're having challenges with making the actual sale, your answers are going to be in the follow-up call. So in the follow-up call, they're going to tell you, hey, Daniel, I didn't go with you because of A, B, and C. Now, the smart agents, the agents that are actually going to grow to be something, grow to be somebody, grow to be a leader, a sales manager, a legend on that sales floor, is actually going to collect the answers and learn from them rather than collect the answers and get defensive. And this is why it's important to always be on offense, is because on offense, you're accepting it. You're accepting, certain lessons that are going to be invaluable as you proceed and grow your career in sales. And so here's the scripting. Number one is understand that there's 3 points of contacts. And I'm going to go real quick because I need to get in, take a shower, and get ready for my own hustle. But there are 3 points of contacts. Number one is telephone. Number two is email. Number three is text messages. You have to understand that for every single message along these 3 forms of communication, the other 2 need to follow. And so if I send a text, be damn sure I'm going to send a voice message and email as well. If I send an email, that's right, I'm definitely going to send a voicemail and a text message along with it. And so any point of contact, any form of contact, I'm going to back it up with 2 more. Why? Is because I'm now hitting him in all directions. More importantly, the scripting, within the scripting, somewhere in there, it says, if I don't hear from you, I'm going to call you back the next day. If I don't hear from you, I'll call you back again. Every single time that I left a voice message, it said that. And so what happened was, since I left the voice message, my email, my text would point back to the voice message. Let me give you an example. So typically the first point of message that I would go to is the voice message. And this is typically done because phone calls, bottom line, are screen. And when you get the voice message, it sounds a little something like this. Hey, Jim, this is Daniel giving you a call. Hey, you know what? I came across your file. I had a meeting with my manager. I have an idea. Give me a call back. I think I can help you. That's exactly what it sounds like. Give me a call back. I think I can help you. 949, blah, 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 blah. Give him your phone number, right? Very vague. You're not saying, it is more effective. And you might be thinking, well, Daniel, how's that going to work? Believe me, it is more effective than saying, hey, Jim, this is Daniel. Just giving you a call back about our discussion the other night. I wanted to see if you had any questions about the figures, about the lender credit, about the interest rate. If you do, call me back, blah, 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 blah. It is more effective to say, hey, Jim, this is Daniel. Hey, I had a meeting with my manager. We were talking about your file. He brought up something to me. I didn't even catch it. Give me a call back. I think I can help you now. Right? Very simple. And it's not giving a full pitch over the voice message. Very vague, almost like you've known Jim all your life, right? Like you've talked 3 or 4 times. You could have just talked to Jim once. It could have just been a 20-minute conversation, but the tonality almost will make Jim saying, dude, do I know this guy? Right? Just because the way you did it, whereas most of our competitors are, hey, Jim, this is Daniel with that XYZ lender. It's a great day here, and I just want to let you know. What the fuck? So, of course, delete, right, before the full message. Now, so since that voice message, right, it sounded like, hey, I got an idea. I can help you now. Give me a call back. I left the message that way. So then I immediately follow up with an email that says in the subject line, just left a message, ... And in the body of the email, I'm saying, hey, Jim, I just left you a voicemail. Give me a call when you get back. I'll send you over a text to let you know I stopped by. I'll give you a call again if I don't hear from you. And I'll stand by to release the information. That's it, right? Very vague, again, and it's just straight to the point. But more importantly, plants a seed that, hey, I'm going to call you back if I don't hear from you. And then also that I'm going to stand by to confirm with you before I release the information. So there's 2 factors, right? Number one, they're going to call me. Number 2 is what information does he need my confirmation to release? And so it begins the curiosity. And so now, of course, it's referring to the voicemail. So they're going to jump on the voicemail. Then they're going to hear the body of the voicemail. And then finally, I'll send a text message. Text message, very vague again. Hey, Jim, just sent email and voicemail. If you can't make a call, let me know what time you can email or text. That's it, right? Now you got 3 messages, very vague, all going back to the email, voice message, all circling, but it has this suspense. It has this hint of mystery, and there's only good that can come of it. Number 1, they're enticed to call back because you told them you're going to call them back. Number 2 is they believe that you can help them. And number 3 is when they do call back, you are in a position to help them. And the idea is that, you're going to go ahead and look at different options. Now, from your initial pitch presentation, you would have already known as to why, right? They didn't go with you. And typically we have a good feeling, whether it's about interest rate or fees. And so let's say you didn't know. Let's just say that they told you, hey, Daniel, give me a call. I'll give you a call if I decide to go forward. And they didn't tell you. Well, the point is that on that follow-up call, let him know that you have another meeting with him. He has a couple ideas he wants to run by you, but your manager wanted you to ask them what was more important, the interest rate or the payment, right? And so what the reason why is because, you get a lower payment if they cover their own costs, but the interest rate will go up if you cover their costs, right? And so it's kind of narrowing it down, but more importantly, it's leaning on the fact that you're meeting with upper management. And so this typically works if they want to get the best deal. But a lot of times when they make the initial contact back or they give you a call back, and this isn't something that you do on the second day, right? Like they have to literally be dodging a couple calls. Like you got to do like a second call, no answer back. and so after, let's say, 2 days go by, you leave, you didn't hear from them, then you want to give them a call and use that campaign. Right. And so let 24-hour period go by. If they didn't give you a call back, because you don't want to be stalking them like, hey, just wanted to check in with you with our conversation from yesterday, even though traditionally you should. But, a quick email or text message letting them know like some update or some random fact is suitable. But when you need them to call you back or you feel like they're going ghost on you, use that campaign and they're going to give you a call back. You're going to increase your chances of getting a call back before 7 attempts. And so this scripting is going to be very effective with those who are on the fence. If they're flat out going with another company, they're going to tell you that they're going with another company, and that just opens up the door towards winning that sale. And I'm going to share with you how to win that sale in the next episode. If it's your first time viewing Sales Remastered, consider subscribing, hitting that bell button so that you get notified of any topics or subjects that get uploaded in the future. And I appreciate your time in watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.